Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to an old friend, a girl who is so talented, it's remarkable. Lucy Kay, how are you?
Hello, I'm all right, thank you.
You are delicious, let me tell you that firstly. We spoke before, I think the last question I asked you was, would you marry me? And you never replied. We'll leave that till the end of this. Congratulations, here we are at Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and you play the narrator, which is actually a really tricky part because the songs are very difficult amidst the chaos and campery of this silly show with a good meaning and a great star in Joe McElroy. And you nail it beautifully. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It must have been strange for you in a way because there you are, this incredible voice. I mean, so few have your gift. You can count them on one hand in this country who have that amazing soprano voice. And there you are in musical theatre doing this. Was there a risk for you? Did you ever think, should I do it?
Yeah. To be fair, it was about a couple of weeks before we started, and that was when I was offered the part. And I thought, I think it's too big for me, and also I've only ever done opera since I was 7 years old and never been trained in musical theatre, so I just thought I could potentially really bugger up my career here, but I didn't, so it's kind of boosted it a little bit really in the musical theatre world. So
here we are in the glamour of the Theatre Royal, which is one of the most beautiful theatres in the world, I think. And of course, it's your hometown. Has that given an extra edge this week and made it even more special?
Yes, definitely. It's always nice to be home, and I'm back home visiting my family, so my nanny and my mum and my dad. So I'm back in my old room, sleeping there for this week. And also it's nice to be, I've obviously never performed here at the Theatre Royal. I've always been next door at the Royal Concert Hall. So it's nice to know that I'm in the same building, but also performing on a stage that I haven't yet. And so it's another one on my bucket list that I've done. I've obviously watched a lot of pantos here and stuff with my Nana Grandad. But yeah, it's just nice, and it's nice to have familiar faces in the audience as well.
As you stood on that stage the first night and realised all the history of your memories with the family and then where you've come to, you must feel like you've made it, because let's face it, they could pick anybody for this role. There's tons of actresses who could sing this, maybe not as well as you, but are willing to sing it, who are available, and they chose you. I guess that's a pinchy moment, isn't it, where you realise actually it's all paying off.
Yeah, well, I feel like I've come full circle, actually. So Nottingham was one of the first stages I ever really stood on to sing. And to know that I went further afield to study music in Glasgow, to then go on Britain's Got Talent, to be in London, to go to China, different places to sing, and to then come back and perform in front of my family and friends in the area that I was brought up in, and that has a very close meaning to my heart. But it is tinged with sadness because the lady who helped kind of develop my voice and my love for singing did pass away before she knew that I was going to go on Britain's Got Talent and something like that, and managed to do all the things that I wanted to do that she said that I could do. And I've done it, and I think that's given me strength to carry on, for her.
We last spoke during Fantasia, that wonderful album you did, and we talked then about the people that you've been able to sing with, the Andrea Bocelli's probably being at the top of the list, some incredible people. I mean, again, if she's looking down, if you believe in that, I mean, there's no bigger payoff than that, is there? The people you get to sing with and want to be associated with you, and whether it's Bill Kenwright in this or whether it's Bocelli, what an amazing career.
Yeah, it's been, I really wish she'd had seen the Andrea Bocelli at the O2 and the other arenas that I did. I know that would have been a highlight, but honestly, it's just been phenomenal, and every day I'm very blessed to be doing what I'm doing. It's not all handed out, on a plate. It is difficult. I still had to audition like other people who have trained in musical theatre to do this, and I'm still going to be, and I'm currently auditioning for other things. So as well as the doors have been opened by Britain's Got Talent, it still is a journey that I'm doing with everyone else that has trained at music college and things like that. So it's nice. I feel like I'm still on the ground with my feet, so it's nice that way. Yeah.
I've noticed since the first time we spoke that you have an incredible following of dedicated fans that are verging on obsessed with you, and they watch your every move and are interested in everything you do. Does that ever become normal? Because it is strange.
Sometimes, I mean, it's lovely, and you just think, wow, people are in awe of you, and that'll never ever ever feel normal for me, because I used to be like that with people who I used to see in the choir, that when I was in the junior choir and the older members, I used to think, I really want to be that person. I want to emulate her success and things like that. But sometimes I think when they get obsessive, I think in their own way it's brilliant, but sometimes I think you have to take a step back from it and remember that, and they need to remember as well, I'm just a normal person, and Joe gets it far worse, and Beyonce gets it far worse than all of us, and we've got like 1% of it, and you think it really doesn't, it's never normal, and I don't think it ever will, and I'm just like, it's just me, and honestly, I'm sat talking to you right now in a onesie and slippers, and that's how I spend most of my life, apart from when I'm on stage. So all walking down the high street with no makeup on, and I'm just like everybody else. So it's kind of, you just think, why? I'm just me, but it is nice. It's nice to be appreciated.
Is it lovely also being in a production where you've got other people who can also take the blame if it goes wrong? I mean, for so much of your career, you've been the lady who stands the centre stage with the pin focus and the microphone, and it's all about you. This isn't all about you. No. I mean, you drive the show, there's no question, and you do it magnificently, but it's an ensemble piece. Is that nice that you get to go to pub with this one and that one after the show and have Joe next door?
Yeah, it is lovely, because we're in each other's dressing rooms all the time, having a little conversation like we were then. We were just having a little chat or a cup of tea and things. It's nice. I prefer to be part of a company than to be a solo singer. It's a very lonely world, and sometimes it can be even more nerve-wracking. But when you're on stage with other people, it feels like home and it feels like family. So it's lovely.
And I think the snag in what you do, as magnificent as you are, is the travelling. I mean, you've got to get everywhere, and mostly you're doing it by yourself, and that must weigh on your heart after a while, which I suppose is one of the reasons you're doing this, that at least you've got this family, albeit a fake one, around you who you can support each other.
Yeah, well, I actually found my boyfriend on this tour, so that's nice.
No, that's not nice. That's disgraceful.
But that's...
Are you trying to annoy me?
I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a nice part of it, because it's, I found someone that I love dearly, and now we travel together, so it also helps me out on the petrol side. and the travel, yeah.
This is a tax write-off, that's what you're saying.
So I'm like, we'll go in one car, you drive, I'll just sit in the passenger seat. Yeah. No, so it's lovely, the people that you meet on tour, but also it's very tiring, and 3 shows on a Saturday as well, that's the killer, and then knowing you've got to travel to the next place that night or the day after. And it's hard living out of a suitcase. I'm going to say that a lot of people say you must be living the dream. To some extent, yes, I am, but also I'm very tired, and I actually want to sit at home for a little while and just enjoy my time being me, and sitting again in my onesie, and also watching a bit of TV, because I don't know where I am with all the soaps. I don't know anymore, so I can't catch up. So
and you can't take Sky Plus on the road with you. That's the problem.
Yeah, so it's nice, but it'll be nice after this tour to have a little time at home and then recoup, and then have time to miss it again, to then go back into something else, or wherever it takes me, because it's nice like that. We never know where our next work's coming from. Never know where our next paycheck's coming from either. But
it's risky, isn't it, the business? Because as big as you are today, tomorrow you can be sat at home watching This Morning with the rest of us. You never know, do you? Is there an ambition? Have you got something that you'd love to do next, or do you keep that to yourself?
I'd love to do Les Mis. I actually had an audition for it, but I couldn't do it because I was on this tour. So that's another thing that comes with being on tour. You don't always get to go to the auditions that you want to be in for the next thing.
You wanted to be Jean Valjean? Which part was it?
Absolutely. I just think that it would be wonderful to be on the West End, and that's my ambition at the moment. So when I do get home, I'm going to concentrate on working on more rep and more auditions, and hopefully I will get there one day if I work hard enough.
Isn't it depressing though, one day when you go into audition for Cosette and the next minute you're Fontaine and the next minute you're playing the grandmother in Billy Elliot? That's show business, isn't it, really?
It is, but it's nice. You're never the same character, so it's brilliant to be. I mean, I've been the narrator twice now, and so after this period has cut off, and then Joe goes on his Gloria tour, I'm not going to join with the extending tour. I'm just going to carry on doing auditions and hopefully get something that, that I can lend my voice to, because I think it's important to keep changing and to keep trying to reach for the stars, and because I think there's only so many times you can sing the colours.
I get that, but the only thing I'd say to you is never forget how amazing you are and how privileged you are to be here, because when you see somebody like you on that stage, most people don't sing it like that. And in your head, I know you perhaps want to move on, but to us, to bring that to local regional audiences is remarkable. And you've sort of, in your world, I get why you want to move on, but that doesn't necessarily mean this audience does.
No, it doesn't. But also, I don't want people to think, oh, that's the only thing she can do, or that's the only thing she wants to do. But also, some audiences might not want to see the same narrator play more than twice and fancy a little bit of a change. Because I think there's a lot of people that come to see Joseph so many times and have done through last year and this year, and they go bonkers for it, and they still say it's fabulous, even though they've seen it a million times. And I think, gosh, I've never been like that, but I'm like, don't you fancy a change, in people on stage? I don't know. It's
people like what they like,
yes.
And if they like it, don't argue with it. Take the money and run. I've always wanted to be either a giraffe in The Lion King. I did audition for this actually for Joseph, but apparently the man boobs were too big, so Bill Kenwright turned me down. It's wounding, really, isn't it?
It is when it's based on looks.
Take the compliment that you get the role. Lucy Kay is one of the biggest stars in this country, and if you get a chance to listen to that CD, Fantasia, just stunning, and it really made you shine. Will you be doing another CD?
It could be in the pipelines. I'd like to do some more classical, but also more classical crossover, so it fits a wider genre and appeals to more people than just opera lovers, because I think you can really cut yourself off and be a one-trick pony, so let's not be that.
I hope you know how good you are and how loved you are by your fans, because the following is extraordinary, but moreover, your voice is sensational, and I hope you know that, and never take it for granted, because people would die and jump over rivers to get that voice. It's an incredible gift. Congratulations. Joseph continues touring until July, and Lucy Kay, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.